Okay, so this morning we're going to be doing a sun salutation and hip opener class. So thank you for joining me. And if you're popping on a little bit late, I apologize for being a couple minutes behind myself, a little bit of technical issues just because I had to. It's the first time I've scheduled a live stream. So it was a little bit working through the issues. Okay, so some tools that you're going to need are some blocks, possibly a strap, and a bolster or pillow. You could even have big books. You may want a chair that you can have some balance against, or a wall for one of our peak poses. And you can go ahead and get into a seated easy pose position on the floor. And you can sit with your hips up a little elevated on your bolster or pillow. And if you have any serious back issues, if you're in your second and third trimester of pregnancy, if you are sick, if you have infection, if you have hernia, any serious abdominal issues or surgeries, please avoid this practice. You may want to look into some rehabilitative yoga, restorative yoga, and make sure that your body is getting taken care of the right way. This is a beginner to intermediate class, so definitely modify with whatever you can, whatever you need to. It is your practice. You certainly do not have to, not a competition, so modify wherever you need to. And you can start with your easy pose, cross-legged position. You can get the flesh out from under your sit bones. Sit nice and tall. Your head is towards the ceiling, getting pulled towards the sky. Hands are gently placed on your knees. Begin by focusing on your body. You can have your eyes heavy or closed, and just relax the body in a way that you can be aware of each part of it. So relaxing into your seated position, but with your spine nice and tall and your chin parallel to the floor. Just focus on your breathing. Don't have to control your breathing at this time, just be aware of it. Where's the breath coming from? Where is it going? Breathing in and out. You might feel the cool sensation of the air going in and the warm sensation of relaxing the areas of your body that you feel tension, breathing into that area. And with your inhales, your spine gets closer to the sky. Exhales, you might feel the slight contraction of your vertebrae. Now focus on your breath. Deep breath into the belly and into the chest. And exhale from the chest and into the belly completely. Again, inhale into the belly and the chest. And exhale from the chest through the belly, completely belly button to spine. Nothing that is difficult. Make it easy. Inhale into the belly, expanding the belly. Inhale to the chest and exhale through the chest. And bring your hands to heart center. Rub them together, create some friction. Place them over your face. Look at your hands. A beautiful smile on your face. And begin our practice with grounded, being grounded, dedication, focus to our day, and have a wonderful, joyful day, having the focus that we need. So you can remove the bolster and move into a tabletop position. And we will start with some cat-cows. You can have your toes curled under or flat feet. If this is hard for your knees, you can either fold your mat inward to get that extra cushioning, or you can also have a small blanket under your knees for support. So wrists are right under the shoulders and knees are right under the hips. And you're spreading your fingers nice and wide, pressing into all finger pads. And inhale, pushing the belly button towards the mat, anterior pelvic tilt, and your chest shines towards the front of the mat. Inhaling, exhaling into cat, curling the spine, posterior pelvic tilt, pressing the floor away, chin towards the chest. Inhale, cow, belly button to spine. Anterior tilt. Open the chest, looking up. Exhale into cat. Inhale to cow. Do that 4 more times on your own at your own. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Pressing the belly button towards the spine, pushing the floor away, chin to chest. Cow, shining the chest forward. Don't forget to smile. Allowing this time for yourself. Inhale the cow. Exhale the cat. Now you can move in any direction that you need to. I like to do big circles with my hips here as well, just kind of opening up, getting a little bit more movement, getting the blood flowing in the area. You can do both directions, nice big circles with the hips all the way to the floor, coming back up. And bring your right leg back behind you. Forward a little bit. Press it back and forth a little bit. Stretch the calf, stretch the foot. If anything with the feet is painful, you can certainly put the block behind the foot. If we're doing down dog, a plank, you can have a bolster, you can have the block behind the foot. If that is too much stretch in the calf, you can have it behind both. If you're in down dog or any other position as well, you can have blocks right under the hands. And these hands, you're gonna have the, what does it say on here? Okay, you're gonna have your hands covering the entire blocks, spreading the fingers wide, right directly under the shoulders as well. So this just is gonna give you a little bit more height in your down dog, and that's what we're gonna do next. So first, left foot back, stretching that calf a couple times, stretching the foot, getting some blood in there, flowing. Okay, now we're gonna move into our first downward facing dog. And pressing the hips up to the sky. You can be having your hands on the blocks if you need to, or behind the feet. Either way, you have your toes spread, your fingers spread. You can have your toes hip width distance apart, or your feet. And we're going to walk the dog. It's nice deep bends into the knees. And then you're going to have knees straight, bend the left knee deeply and press it towards the right side of the mat. You can even pivot that foot a little bit. Keep pressing your right hand into the mat, stretching that right side body nice and long, relaxing the head and neck. Inhale and exhale. And back into the center. Now we'll Bend that right knee deeply. Press it towards the left side of the mat, pivoting the foot. And pushing that left hand into the mat still. Extending and stretching the left side of the body. Inhale and exhale. And back to center into your down dog. Pressing the hips high to the sky. Here in down dog, you're going to have your inner thighs activated. You're pressing your shoulder blades away from each other, pressing into each part of the fingers. Take off pressure from the wrist. We're not pushing all our weight into the wrist. Weight is evenly distributed between the hands and the feet. Take a nice deep breath and gently walk your feet all the way up to your hands into a forward fold. Uttanasana. You can have your knees deeply bent with your feet hip-width distance apart. Grab opposite elbows. Press your belly onto the knees. And just hang there for a moment. Allow the spine to get a little bit of inversion. You can wag back and forth a little bit. Shake your head yes and no. Get the spine to loosen up a little bit. Now, hands back to the mat and gently roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, all the way to standing. Now, in mountain pose, you can have your toes slightly touching, or you can have your feet hip-width distance apart. You want your toes nice and spread and feeling all the parts of your feet. Nice and strong foundation. Your kneecaps are pulling up, activating the quads. Your hips are slightly activated, pressing that tailbone just a little bit towards the floor. Abs are pulled in and active. Roll the shoulders back. Shine those palms forward. Chest is nice and tall. Chin is parallel to the floor. And we're pulling the head towards the sky. Nice, strong foundation. This is going to be our foundation for any standing pose. So make sure that you are good and balanced here. On our inhale, we're going to start with some sun salutations. So inhale, arms all the way up to the sky, extended mountain pose. Triceps to the ears, but we're not really arching in the low back. We're keeping that back, the tailbone pointed towards the mat, and we're just pressing our shoulders back. And as we do that, we might get a little bit of an upper back bend. But don't really bend into the low back. We don't want to drop into that. Exhale, down into a forward fold. Press your hands on your shins. Inhale, flat back. Press your head to the opposite, to the wall in front of you. Nice straight back. You can even press on your thighs if you need to, or good, you can do the floor. Nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And press that right leg all the way back. And then the left leg is going to meet the right. We're going into a plank pose. Again, fingers are nice and wide. Wrists are directly under the shoulders. We're not arching in the back. We're keeping it nice and straight, pressing the floor away, pushing those heels above the toes. So we're not really coming back, forward. Nice and tall and straight. Now, a modified chaturanga is knees to the floor, chest to the floor, and press yourself forward, laying on your belly. Now you can come into a sphinx pose anytime we do this, which is elbows under the shoulders. And you're going to be pressing your pubic bone and your feet into the floor. That's going to gently activate the glutes, shining the chest forward. Or you can come into a low cobra. Hands are directly under the shoulders. Elbows are pinched towards the ribs. Again, pressing your legs and pubic bone into the mat and bringing yourself up a little. Or you can go into full cobra if you like, maybe a little bit later when you're a little loosened up. Now, once you're in cobra, inhale. Exhale back down to the floor. Bring yourself back up to knees and into downward facing dog. Stretching calves, the hamstrings, pressing the floor away, pushing the mat away from both sides. Bring that right leg up to the sky, keeping the hips a little squared. Bend the knee deeply, and then turn it to the left side of the mat, opening up the hips. Give yourself a nice open hip position here. Press into that right hand still. Back to center. Inhale the hand all the way up to the front. If you can't get it to the front, you can certainly use your other hand and walk your foot up to the front. And meet that left leg with the right leg. And forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Inhale, hands all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time, left leg goes back. Right leg goes back. Chaturanga or modified chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra or sphinx. Back to downward facing dog. Left leg comes up now. Deep bend in the left knee. Pressing that foot to the right side of the mat. Pressing into both hands equally. Opening up that left side of the hip. Inhale and exhale. Back to center. And inhale the left leg all the way to the hands. Walk it forward if you need to. And bring that right leg up to meet the foot as well. Forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart center. Okay, we're going to add in a crescent lunge. Inhale all the way up to mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg comes back. Knee hits the floor. Toes hit the floor. Left leg is at a 90-degree angle directly over the ankle. Shine your chest forward. Here you can use your blocks right at your sides. Whatever position you feel is necessary. 3 different heights. And shine the chest forward, crescent lunge. Bring that knee slightly into the center so it's not waving out to the side. And bring that foot, the back foot back up, the knees up, and bring that left foot to meet the right. High plank, chaturanga or modified chaturanga to the knees, the chest, bring it forward into cobra. Bring your hips up on the inhale, downward facing dog. Okay, exhale. Inhale that right leg forward again. Left leg is on the crescent lunge now. Knee and foot is on the floor. Shine that hip, shine the chest forward. Let those hips move towards the mat. And bring that foot back up. And exhale into your forward fold. Inhale all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, left side. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down to forward fold, Uttanasana. Left leg back into your lunge. Knee and foot down, shining that chest forward. Use the blocks if you need to. Exhale your right leg back into plank. Hold your breath, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Back down into your lunge. Knee and foot on the floor. Chest forward. And exhale, right leg meets the left, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up to extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center, all the way through. Breathe. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Okay, we'll do that again. Inhale all the way up, extended mountain, slight back bend. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana. Right leg back. This time you can stay in your low lunge, or you can move into the higher crescent lunge or high lunge. So here, you can bring your hands all the way up to the sky and have your foot directly, your back foot, your back heel is over the toes, and pressing that front knee into a 90-degree position. You can still see your big toe. You're pressing into the ball of the foot and firming the inner legs, the inner thighs. Exhale, down to the mat. Bring that left leg into meet the right plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Upward dog, you're pressing your tailbone towards your feet, pressing your feet into the mat. Take the pressure off of the low back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg all the way up to the hands. Exhale, inhale up to your high lunge or crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. And inhale, feet together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up to extended mountain. And hands to heart center. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale that left leg back. Back into your high lunge. Whichever lunge you feel comfortable with. You can have that brick behind your foot if necessary. Exhale, hands to meet the mat. Bring that right foot back. Chaturanga. Down. Make sure you're brushing your elbows towards the ribs. High. Upward facing dog or cobra or sphinx. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg forward to meet the hands. Exhale, inhale up to your lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Inhale, feet together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands to the sky. Exhale all the way through heart center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, hands all the way up, arms up into extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to add in a couple more poses here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the right leg comes back. This time we're going to add a little bit of a back bend into our lunge. So inhale all the way up. You can have a bend in that back knee and press the triceps to the ears, pushing the tailbone towards the floor. So you're not arching in the low back, but you're opening up the front ribs, the chest, slightly looking up. You can clasp your hands together, point your first finger towards the sky, keeping your arms straight. Breathe. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Well, one more big inhale. You got this. Inhale and exhale. And on your next exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Feet meet the other foot. Back into plank. Chaturanga. Elbows touch the ribs. Sphinx, cobra, or upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg forward. Now we're going to do that crescent lunge on the left side. So a slight bend in that left knee. Inhale, arms up. Keeping a deep bend in that front knee. Pressing the tailbone towards the mat. Clasping your hands together if you can. Straight arms, pointing the finger up. Slight back bend. Don't collapse into the low back. Press it towards the floor. 4 deep breaths. You've got this. Inhale and exhale. You can do it. And on your next exhale, bring your hands down to the mat and bring that left foot up to meet the right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up to extended mountain pose. Exhale through heart center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let the heat out. Inhale and exhale. One more time, big inhale. And exhale. We're going to flow again, and we're going to go into warrior 2. So inhale, arms all the way up, extended mountain pose. Forward fold, exhale, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Right leg back, pivot that right foot so the toes are facing the right side of the mat. Line up either heel to heel or heel to arch. Cartwheel the hands all the way open. And I want you to press your shoulders back, so just turn your palms towards the ceiling. Feel that rotation in the shoulders, and then only rotate your palms back down to the floor. Your left toes are facing the front of the mat. Deep front bend in that front knee, but you can still see the big toe. We don't want it to come in or too far out. So pressing that outer hip out to the side. Hold the pose, pressing into the right back edge of the foot, pushing the mat away from each foot, pressing the hands, pulling them to each side of the room, gazing over the left hand, and breathe. Deep breaths. 2 more. Big breath. Great time to incorporate your Jaya breath, if you know. Ocean breath. And on your next exhale, cartwheel the hands back down to the mat. Bring that left leg back to plank. Here's your chaturanga. Modify if you need to. Elbows touch the rib. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg comes forward. Pivot on that back foot. The left foot is now facing the left side of the mat. Heels or arches are lined up. And a nice deep bend in the right leg. Cartwheel the hands all the way up. Again, shoulders roll back, palms up. Only rotate the palms back down towards the floor. Gaze over the right fingers. Press into the back edge of that left foot. Inhale and exhale. pressing into the ball of the foot of the right, the heel, hips towards the mat. Feel an arch in your back, press the tailbone towards the mat. Inhale and exhale. More big breath. And next exhale. Rotate. Cartwheel your hands back down. Pivot that back foot. Bring it back to meet the left. And plank pose. Chaturanga. Got this. If you can't, if you don't got it in you, just go to child's pose. Break if you need. Modify wherever you need to. Press those hips back, upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Now you can either hop or just step your feet up to the front. You're going to hop. Make sure that you know what you're doing. You're going to engage your core. You're going to bend your knees deeply. And on the inhale, you're going to have your hips and your core come up, and your feet are just going to follow to the front of your mat. A nice big inhale. And land as smoothly and as quietly as you can. I'm not great at it quite yet, but it's a practice. And inhale all the way up, mountain pose. Exhale through heart center. Now we're going to step into a wide-legged position. Your toes are facing the side of your mat. And you can have your hands on your hip. Your toes are facing forward, feet are parallel, about 3 or 4 feet apart, whatever is comfortable for you. Hands on the hips, shine that chest forward, elbows back, look towards the ceiling, and flat back, forward fold, straight spine, looking towards the mat. Straight spine, hands to the floor. You can have your blocks under your hands here as well. Give yourself a little bit of height, pressing the edges of your feet into the mat. And if you have it, you can relax into the stretch all the way down to the mat. You can line your fingertips with your toes and just relax your head and neck. And nice deep forward fold, stretching the inner thighs, the quad or the hamstrings. Shouldn't feel any pain, just stretching. Stretching can be a little discomfort, but shouldn't be any sharp pain. Modify if you're feeling anything like that. Breathe. Nice deep breaths. Two more big breaths. Look up on your next inhale. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Nice flat back. Hands to your hips. Hold on, activate those legs. And inhale, flat back all the way back up to the top. And gradually step to the front of your mat again. We're going to do one more flow. Inhale all the way up, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg back, inhale. I'm going to cartwheel those hands up all the way into warrior two again. Big breath. Press the edge of that back foot down. Cartwheel back down to the mat. Bring that left leg back, high plank. Your breath, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring that right leg forward to meet the hands. Cartwheel the hands all the way back open again. Warrior two. Inhale and exhale. Deep bend in that front knee. Firming the inner thighs, keeping your balance. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Get it on that back foot again. High plank, chaturanga, or modified, or just go into child's pose. Rub those ribs with the elbows. Forward into upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Again, you can hop, jump, or hop or step all the way up to the front. So on your inhale, activate the abdominals and the hips. And hop up to the front as gently as possible. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, now for our peak pose, dancer's pose. So here you may want a chair, a wall, something you can balance against. You possibly might want a strap if you're going to use a strap. If you've never tried this pose before, you can also go into half moon pose, which is not as you don't have to balance quite as much, and you can use a block. So for half moon pose, you can, well, let's just do dancer's pose. Too many are getting confusing. Okay, so first, get your balance, your foundation, your strong foundation that we talked about in mountain pose. Switch all your weight to the left foot. Pick up your right foot a bit. You can have your chair in front of you or your wall. Here, if you're going to be using a strap, you can just place it around your foot and keep your hand close to the foot. If you have your balancing here, you can activate that left leg nice and strong. The quad is strong. The foot is pressing into the floor. Kick that right leg back, holding the strap. And if you have it, you can extend the left arm, keeping the hips square towards the mat. And you can hold on to that pose with a strap if you like. Or if you want to do the full pose, again, place your weight into the left foot. Grab that right ankle with your hand. Flex the foot or point it, wherever you feel like you have a better grip. Kick the foot away from you, pulling that right arm back behind you, and gaze over your left fingers. Have your drishti, which is a very specific focal point to keep your balance. Keep your hips as square as you can towards the mat. Hold, or you're you're using the chair or the wall as your balance. Breathe. Feel the burn, you got this. Pressing that foot into the hand, pulling it away. And on your next exhale, gently come back and release the leg, mountain pose. Shake, shake, shake. That can be a little intense. Okay, we're going to do the other side. I'll come to this position if that might help. Press the feet into the floor, mountain pose. So your weight is going to shift into the right foot. Strong right leg, quad is activated. Use the strap if you need to, or grab the left ankle. Press and kick that foot back behind you. I think it's better if I do it this way. Press and kick the foot back behind you. Find your drishti, your focus point. Gaze over the right fingers. Kick that leg back. As square as you can get them towards the mat. Activate that right leg. You may need a slight bend in the right leg, especially if you're first time. Those right fingers. I lost it. Okay. Back into the pose. Nice deep breathing. Your breath, foundation, focus. And do it. And on your next exhale, gently come back to center, mountain pose, and shake it out. All right, I'm sweating. Are you sweating? Okay, now let's get down into our seated position here. We'll wind down now. So we're going to have our legs stretched nice and wide. Here you can also be sitting on your bolster to raise up your hips and have a nice wide-legged position on your mat. Spine is nice and tall. Hands up to the sky and forward fold, activating those feet. The toes are kind of pointing towards you as best you can. And just walk your hands forward. Try not to round the back too much. You're first getting into the stretch. And once you feel like you've at your capacity for the flat back, then you can bend your elbows towards the floor. You can put blocks under you. You can rest your head on a block if you like. You can grab your toes, keeping those knees activated and stretching deeply into your wide-legged seated forward fold. Inhale and exhale. And just try to relax into the pose, extending the spine on the inhales, relaxing into the stretch on the exhales. On your next inhale, raise your head, gently press the floor away, flat back, and walk yourself back up into your seated position. Okay, now into butterfly pose or bound angle pose. Bring the soles of your feet together. Again, you can still be sitting on your bolster if you need to. Have your raised hips a bit. And open your feet as if you're reading a book. You're not pressing. You're not pulling your feet towards you. You're not pressing with your elbows because you want to keep a nice straight flat back. And just open the feet with your hands. Opening the shoulders, keeping your chest open, and smile. If you enjoyed this class as much as I did. Inhale and exhale, 4 deep breaths. Spine is nice and tall, facing towards the sky. Now on your next inhale, you can gently bring your knees back up to center. And you're going to come into more of a plank position again. And we're going to go into pigeon pose. So bring that right knee up to meet the right wrist. You're going to want your right knee slightly outside of your hip, not directly in front of it, but slightly outside of your hip. You can have that foot activated as well to protect the knee. Press that left foot back. Raise yourself up. If you don't have the flexibility, it's totally fine. You can place a block, a pillow, a blanket under the hip so you can sit up nice and tall. So that is easy enough to do. Modify wherever you need to. And once you're in a good, comfortable position, walk your hands forward. And you can come as forward as far as you like. You can be on your elbows. You can have your block here. You can press your forehead on the block. Or you can come all the way down and just place your head on your hands and relax into the stretch, keeping that back foot straight towards the back of the mat. Inhale and exhale. 4 deep breaths. Of course, if you're feeling any knee pain, just avoid this pose. You can go into child's pose with wide-legged knees, with the toes touching and your knees nice and wide. On your next inhale, look up. Gently press yourself back up and walk yourself back to upward position. Fold in those back toes. Up and bring the right leg back. Switch to the left leg. Left knee meets the left wrist. Have that left knee a little bit outside of the left hip. Activating the left foot so you're protecting the knee. And of course, have the blanket or pillow or block under your hip. You go down very far. Modify where you need to. Come down to your elbows. Rest your head on the block or come all the way down to rest the hands on the head on the hands. Breathe deeply. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Relaxing into the stretch. Allow the pelvis to sink to the mat. On your next inhale, look up. Place your hands back on the mat. Put yourself into an upward position. Let your hands raise up your back knee and come back into a plank position and back into seat. We're going to flip around, roll onto our backs. You can even do a couple of rock and rolls if you want to, back and forth. And once you're on your back, do some nice circles with the knees. Massage the low back on the mat. Big circles, 3 or 4 in both directions. Hug your knees into the chest. On the inhale, raise the forehead to the knees. Exhale back down with your shoulders in your head. Inhale, head and shoulders up. Exhale back down. Now spread the knees a little bit. You're going to grab the toes. You can grab the ankles, the inside of the feet, or the outside of the feet. Keep your elbows inside the knees and press your knees towards the mat on the outside of the body. Happy baby pose. Keep the tailbone, keep the sacrum, the low back on the mat. We're not pressing that off the mat. We're opening up the hamstrings, the inner thighs, the pelvis, pressing the feet towards the mat. You can even do a little bit of movement. Happy babies, happy babies. Nice and opening. Getting the pelvis to move and be free, grounding ourselves into the earth. And on your exhale, gently release the hands, bringing the feet back down to the mat, keeping the knees bent. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. Hands, arms are going to be at shoulder level. And then gently windshield wiper your feet or your knees to the right and your head to the left. Exhale. Inhale, knees back up to center. Exhale to the left, head to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, knees to the right, head to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right, head to the left. One more time. Inhale, center. And exhale to the left. Nice and evenly. Inhale up to the center. Bring your feet down to the mat, as wide as your mat, your hands at your side, as wide as you'd like them, palms facing up. Every part of your body is touching the mat. Our final resting pose, Savasana. Close your eyes or have a heavy gaze. Allow every part of your body to touch the mat. Feel the parts of your body that are on the floor. Calves, the heels of the feet, the back of the thighs, the glutes, the back of the hands, back of the arms, the shoulders, the head. Feel your strong foundation. You did amazing today. Thank you for joining me. You can take as long as you need in Savasana. Continue doing a bit of relaxation here. Breathing. Thank yourself for the time that you've spent, what you've done for your body, for your mind, for your spirit today. Allow all this good work to soak in. And be aware of your right leg and relax the right leg. Bring awareness to your left leg and relax the entire left leg. Keep going. Bring awareness to your glutes, down here. Bring awareness to your hips and relax the hips. Focus on the back. Relax the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. Focus on the right arm and relax the right arm and the right shoulder. Relax the left arm and the left shoulder. Relax the neck, the face, the jaw, the eyebrows, forehead. And relax finally the head and the top of the head. Your whole body is relaxed. Take a few moments to breathe and focus on your breath. Your mind begins to wander, just focus back on your breath. And count your breaths from 10 to 1. Complete inhale and exhale being 1. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. 9. Continue at your own pace. Now you can wiggle your toes, fingers coming back into your space. Move your hands, your ankles, knees, and your shoulders, your body into any stretch that you feel is necessary at the moment. Pulling from both sides. You can roll onto any side that you feel, left or right. Place your head on top of your top arm, curling the knees in towards the chest. Place your upper hand on the mat in front of your chest. Take a moment. Absorb the nurturing grounding that has taken place today. And press the floor away when you're ready, all the way up back to a seated position. You can sit on your bolster if you need to. Place your hands at heart center. Back into our intention, dedication that it takes, the focus for the day, the grounding sensations, bring joy into our life. Namaste.